hottest girls in the world with bikinis on this podcast. And I'm going to take this part and I'm going to put it at the very beginning.
Uh-huh. And then we should get women whose bodies don't adhere to the standard model of beauty. So then they're like, oh, I'm liking it. Hey, what the hell is that? Wait, what was that? Doesn't matter. I'm loving this. Hey, wait, was that another unidealized body?
What were we doing? What was I supposed to do?
We've done almost 30 of these. You think we would have this down?
I just took a lot of ecstasy. I don't even know where I am right now.
Is that where that dance club video you came from?
I think so.
You were buying ecstasy?
So how are you?
I think I'm good. Question mark?
You know the best way to answer that question?
No, I don't.
All right, ask me. Ask me how I'm doing.
Okay. How are you doing, Daniel?
Good. I just got out of jail.
That is good.
Yeah.
Hadouken!
I did that to get in jail.
Hadouken!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, street fighting.
Yeah. America's favorite robot is here with us today. Joey.
Hey. It's America's favorite robot, Joey.
Joey hasn't been saying much on the podcast here lately. Joey, what have you been up to all of this time?
I've been managing a Chuck E. Cheese since I haven't been on the show much lately. I've been doing satanic rituals and sacrifices in the basement in between shifts.
Oh my gosh.
What was that what was that word he said there?
I like how you weren't concerned at all about the sacrifices he was doing in the basement. You just were worried that he pronounced the word wrong.
Well, yeah, I figure every robot's doing satanic sacrifices in their basement and managing Chuck E. Cheese's.
That's why they're so terrifying to go to.
Right.
So a little bit later on in the show, we're going to talk about something called abiogenisis. And we've got our Facebook inspirationals. We have a game where we're going to ask you some trivia questions, Natron. And we're also going to talk about the biggest ship sinking in U.S. history.
Holy smokes.
Something I wanted to point out before we get there, though, is how people don't usually take me seriously. And I think about this all the time, and I'm like, maybe it's a thing where I'm going to get older, and eventually they will, but it just doesn't seem to be going that direction.
No, I've talked to at least 35 people who regularly listen to the show, and that's usually where they start. I like your show, but Danny, I just can't take him seriously.
Maybe it's things I've done in the past. Maybe it's just my demeanor. I don't know. We've talked about the theory of relativity, the standard model of particle physics, black holes, the double slit experiment, World War II, time dilation, gravitational waves, planetary composition, and yet, like one of our best friends, Tony Goley, they just can't take me seriously.
Just can't take you seriously. And all the while, I have shrunk myself with Rick Moranis' shrinking ray, went into a beehive, hid in the forest to talk about bears when we didn't even talk about bears, attacked by a bear, went to the hospital, was deported to Mexico, and played Red Rover to get back here. And almost everyone I talk to takes me seriously.
But maybe it's things off of the show that cause them to not take me seriously. For example, that one time where I drank like 7 energy drinks because I had nobody to buy me beer whenever I was underage, and I started saying sassafras really loudly.
And then you proceeded for 3 weeks to say sassafras randomly.
Sassafras! Yep. Just because I peed behind a dumpster last weekend and danced like an idiot. Just because I wear women's clothing pretty much every chance I get.
All true stories.
Doesn't mean I'm not smart.
Doesn't mean you're not a serious guy.
Right. I like to keep life interesting, goddammit. Speaking of which, I got a 44 mag here with me.
Oh, I hear it. I'm at the gun range tonight.
I got 2 of them. Gun range? What are you doing there?
Well, I forgot my guns. So I'm just kind of sitting here.
Just sitting on a bench talking to the people shooting their guns,
Yeah,
reading a book.
pretty well. Most everyone here thinks the government is going to steal their guns from them.
So just in case somebody comes to try and take them, they're going to be damn good and ready.
Yeah. I mean, there's only like 3 people here, but, you know.
All right,
They're
Natron. After all, it is 1:36 in the morning. It's pretty busy for that time.
That is, actually.
We're going to give you a quiz.
A quiz?
Yes. Today you're going to answer questions about Zima.
Zika?
Zima.
Oh, yeah, the virus.
Sure, we'll go with that. It's actually a horrible beverage that tasted like Sprite mixed with vodka from the 1990s.
Ooh.
Yeah, it ended up being a terrible failure.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
So here's your first question about Zima.
All right.
In its first year, they sold millions and millions of cases. But then what happened? Was it A, an urban myth went around saying it was made of Kool-Aid and rubbing alcohol? B, stores stocked it in the soda pop section where drinkers could not find it? Or C, people actually tasted it?
I'm going with C, because I once tasted it, and it was horrible.
You are correct, sir.
All right.
You have good intuition and taste buds, apparently, that agree with everyone else.
All right.
Despite
Yeah,
the fact they sold millions of cases, it tasted pretty bad and sales didn't continue for long. But even though it tasted bad, sales actually continued for a while, and this may have been something that the company did, perhaps that made it, Coors, but there was a false rumor going on around about Zima. What was that rumor? Was it A, that drinking enough of it could instantly make you able to speak Japanese? B, that it was an excellent solvent for removing dried gum and tar? Or C, that no matter how much you drank, you could still pass a breathalyzer test?
Is there a D? All of the above?
No.
No.
Otherwise, I would have given it as an option.
Fair point. Fair point.
Is it hard to choose between the three?
It is. Because, like I said, I've drank it, and I immediately became fluent in Japanese, but I'm not sure if that's just me.
Well, that's incorrect, my friend. You seem to have had some sort of mutation with the drink, which is not surprising. That may have been another reason. Maybe some lawsuits behind closed doors or something that were settled out of court. But the actual answer is C.
C.
No matter how much you drank, you could still pass a breathalyzer test.
That's impressive.
But these high school students or college students that were trying this were terribly mistaken. Yes.
So you could not, in fact, pass a breathalyzer test.
No. They can still detect a Zima drunk.
A Zima drunk.
Question number 3. Maybe you can go 2 for 3 and have
All right.
the greatest batting average in baseball history.
Uh-huh.
Coors
This isn't
finally...
baseball.
Everything is baseball. Coors finally pulled the plug on Zima, stopped production in 2008, which is actually later than what I remember it being out. And then there was this movement to bring Zima back. But what happened to that movement? Was it A, the leader of the movement, a young woman from South Carolina, admitted she never actually tasted it, but liked the name? B, nobody came to the meetings because the only beverage served there was Zima? Or C, an online petition out of the million needed got only 850 signatures?
You know, I didn't hear an option for the World Health Organization declaring that Zima was an epidemic, and pharmaceutical companies developed a lot of inoculations. What are those called? I forget. Anyway, number A, Danny. She had never drank it.
But like the name. Unfortunately, no, sir. The online petition that they put out that Coors tried to get Zima back to life did not get the 850 signatures it required.
Vaccination, that's the word I was looking for.
And now it's causing babies' brains to get smaller. It's spreading like wildfire. Everybody just went to the Olympics, and they're all getting Zima.
Zima, right. Zima is popular in the mosquito community.
Right.
They carry it around with them.
And they don't like it, so they're trying to give it to everyone else.
Right. They give it to the people who originally gave it to them.
But it's late on the market for mosquitoes. Like with humans, everybody tried it and hated it. Now the mosquitoes are doing the same thing.
Yeah, only 850 mosquitoes signed an online mosquito petition.
All right, well, we're going to move to a next topic. It's called Better Slogans for Stuff.
All right, stuff.
You ever watch a commercial on TV and you're like, there's no way in hell. That's not true at all.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Almost every day.
I need more honesty in advertising.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's becoming like an old thing. Kind of like radio in general. People need images. They need things they can relate to. It may have been better in the 50s, when everybody thought, soda is wonderful. That's a terrible
Cigarettes
example.
cure cancer.
More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
We took some old commercial slogans and we're making them more fun. This is a suggestion to these companies to help them sell better. Eggo waffles.
Hope you're listening, Sears.
Yeah. You remember the slogan, Lego my ego?
Lego my ego, bro.
Yeah. What the hell is that? I mean, Legos are something that I build with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a
a
play on words. It's a pun.
Waffle made of Legos.
I think it would be more effective to say, get your bitch-ass hands up off my waffles.
You best step back off my waffle, bitch.
Number 2, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even say please in the first place. That's not cool.
Yeah, demanding.
Get yourself a job. Buy one of your own.
Yeah.
So what
Is
I
that your
thought...
slogan?
The slogan is, give me one of them perforated chocolate sticks now, sucker.
Please.
Number 3, I gotta have my Pops. I thought it would be better to say, since it sounds so addictive, Pops is my heroin and I'll go broke and live in the street without them.
Oh, Pops was a cereal. I thought you were quoting orphans or something.
They don't have their Pops, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No telling where their Pops is.
Father of mine, tell me where have you been? You know I just closed my eyes, my whole world is up.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
In other words, I like this not-so-special chocolate cereal too much to save money by buying the generic brand.
Nah, I always buy the generic brand.
Nice
I'm
job.
cuckoo for off-brand cereals.
They usually have cooler names, like Colossal Crunch.
Yes. Marshmallow Mateys.
Cap'n Crunch stays crunchy even in milk. That's the whole slogan. Hashtag, it will piss the roof of your mouth off.
Sure. Hashtag, why does this taste like blood?
You know what I think the problem is? Sometimes when people are listening to this show.
Yes, I do.
Oh, what?
But could you explain for everyone else?
Okay. I think that there needs to be more cute stuff on this show.
Oh.
Yeah. People like visuals. They like seeing the videos. I actually put in the podcast on YouTube, I usually put a static picture up. And you just hit play, and it just plays the audio, and that static picture stays up. Well, our faces are on it, so that's certainly not cute. There's no fuzzy raccoons peeking over things.
Right.
One
Puppies.
at a time. There's
falling over boots.
no dogs befriending kitties and snuggling.
Mhm.
No squirrels getting dizzy on bird feeder traps.
A bird standing on the podium of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
That's cute, right?
right.
When I saw it, I said, "Aw."
You know what I think is cute? That time Backstreet Boys came on the radio and Danny said, "Just let it play," in a really cheerful voice.
Uh-huh.
I thought I already
remember
embarrassed
that.
myself enough.
Didn't you arch your hands like a rainbow type? You're like, "Let it play."
Yeah.
This is inspirational Facebook posts and stuff and junk.
I like when he says that. He's learning.
I like this one. I got it from, gosh, what's his name? Oh, it was Jake Ziegler, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The fact there are 10 seasons of Duck Dynasty and only one season of Cosmos tells you all you need to know about humanity. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, also. I don't want to learn facts. I want to hear people who have similar emotions to mine describe their emotional experience.
I like that guy with the... Wait, they all have big beards. That has
I like the one who's homophobic. Wait, they're all homophobic.
I'm trying to distinguish the older homophobic one with the beard.
Yeah. Yeah, the one with gray in his beard?
So we can't do an inspirational Facebook post anymore without Sherman D. Berry. Sherman never lets me down. I know I can go straight to his page and I can find something that I really enjoy. He says, "Another wonderful day coming to a close, so good night, friends. Haircut this morning and then clean the dryer vent out. Wasn't much lint, but it is clean now. Leaf blower works great. This afternoon was bingo at Rosewood Manor. Dinner was Philly cheesesteak and salad. Now looking forward to another wonderful day tomorrow. Life is good and gets better every day."
It's almost like you're just reading the same post over and over again.
Basically.
You literally listed 4 of the top 10 most mundane things a person could do. And yet when Sherman posts it, I just feel like it's so important. I've been thinking over the last few weeks that Sherman just puts way too much, like we said, he's impactful. His posts are beautiful. And we need a little bit of the ugliness of Facebook to balance that out. And that's where my post comes in this week. All names have been changed to protect the innocent. So I got this post from Hoppy Martins, name I just made up.
Nice.
Hoppy says, "Well, I'm going to get this out because it's bullshit and I'm tired of people not knowing the truth. I could care less what people think. Shoshanda cheated on me with her so-called adopted cousin, but he might not even be really adopted, but that's not the point. I found out many lies about her, and most of them I can't tell you. I guess she's moving in with this guy within a week. I'm so done with liars. You thought you trusted someone so much, but so many lies. Oh, and I didn't kick you out. You chose this. When you confessed to me 4 to 5 days later when I already had a feeling what went on, tell me you're going to be back late in the night, but don't come home the next day till 4 or 5 p.m. I'm gonna know what up. Oh, but you're thankful that you found a house within a week because I so-called kicked you out, apparently. You kicked yourself out. And I told you I would even let you stay till December just so you could save money and buy a car. And you can't expect me to decide on the same night that you told me you cheated on me. Takes time to work things out, but obviously you didn't want them to. Can't be mad at me for your mistakes and lies.
Oh, wait, there's more?
Yes, there's more.
Oh,
You
continue.
should have broken up with me months ago instead of all this. So many lies, I hope people realized what kind of person you really are. so fake. It's okay though. After I know what I know, now it's your life. Have at it. I don't give a crap about what you do with your life. And it just goes on and on for like that for, I mean, many more paragraphs, but you get the point.
I'm seeing spots, man. I was about to pass out. I like how the whole time he was kind of like, I'm mad, but this was your choice. You could come back, I guess, if you wanted to. I'm going to be mad, but I guess you're not coming back. I don't know. It just goes on and on.
I like
That
how
amazing.
it was on Facebook in front of everyone. Like, nothing's private anymore.
Right.
We have no private spaces.
That's where I put my personal, deepest thoughts straight out there. Oh,
And most of them have not been proofread.
everything is okay in the world, though. After you've heard that, you might think it's not, but it really is. Okay?
Uh-huh.
If you don't think everything's okay now, we're going to reassure you. Just use the Waffle House Index. You got a Waffle House near you?
Of course.
I tell you what, they're like cockroaches of the restaurant industry. They're everywhere.
They are.
If the Waffle House is open, the world isn't ending. If the Waffle House
get
is
both
closed,
those.
there's a disaster, and it's fucking terrible.
If Waffle House is closed, America has fallen.
We call that a red situation. If there's a limited menu and they've lost power and they're on the backup generator, that's a yellow. That's a good way to close that one out.
People, I mean, I think that's part of why people don't take you seriously, because you're burping on air all the time.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd give it a shot, see if people start saying they can't take me.
I got a serious song to throw out there for you. It goes a little something like this. Get the fuck off your phone when you're in the checkout line. Public service announcement.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. You could do another couple of verses, like, get the fuck off the phone when you drive.
Yeah. Anywhere for that matter.
Get the fuck off the phone in the movies.
In the drive-through. So, when there's a bad situation like we just talked about, people like to say, oh, that's part of God's plan, you know?
Uh-huh.
They say that everything happens for a reason in this modern, new age world. You know, it's like back in the old days, they said, it's God's will. Now they say, I don't know if everybody talked like that back then, but now they say, it's all part of God's plan. It happens for a reason. No matter which way you say it, though, there's complete lack of evidence to either of these sayings.
Well, I mean, it's been 2,000 years and nobody's disproved it.
Right.
That's proof, right?
Sure. You know, whether it's the end of a relationship like we just explained, whether you get a disease, cancer, oh, this was God's challenge for me, earthquakes in Japan, hurricanes in Louisiana.
Right. If your children are trying your patience at the Chuck E. Cheese.
Right. If there's a sacrifice in the Chuck E. Cheese basement and they uncover it in Chicago and they say, what is the world coming to? Reasons bring closure to these types of situations and they satisfy your mind, right? Did God really will that thousands and thousands of people would die in an earthquake in one of the world's poorest countries?
That sounds like my God.
People being deprived of food and water and shelter.
Yeah, most people don't even think about that one, I don't think. They're like, oh, we were late to the movie. I guess it's God's will.
We've often talked about the Big Bang Theory and the beginning of life. Part of the idea of this show is to delve into history, delve into astronomy and physics, and everything that's going on in the world. Not only the world, the universe. What makes us people? How did we get here? There's so many questions. That's why it's called Where Are We? And it's the fucking hardest thing for people to Google because the goddamn show doesn't show up on the front page. The keywords are all screwed up. But that's another story. The reason I bring this up is this thinking of, well, it's all part of God's plan. Things that people cannot explain. The origin of life, for example. One of the first things people think of is the Big Bang Theory, and it's like, nothing exploded and then poof, we're here. Well, it's like, well, there's a lot more to it than that if you've ever studied it. And we do have some scientific evidence to back it up. For example, we got cosmic background radiation that you can look out with a telescope and see remaining radiation, possibly from, what? An explosion.
I'm a scientific-minded person, but when you said that, I just sort of zoned out and said, I guess it's God's will. Because all of those words are really hard and complicated.
Right.
I think that's why people don't care for that answer.
Right. You start getting into math because you have to take into account A plus B plus X plus Y. And people are like, I just want to say one thing and get this over with, and then go to Taco Bell and get that fucking burrito that I saw on the television.
Right.
One thing that I looked up recently, another very large word that's super boring, is abiogenesis. An amazing process of cell biology. So abiogenesis happened about 3.8 to 4.1 billion years ago. Now, according to our carbon dating system that we use that has been proven pretty accurate, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. So it was around for almost 500 million years before anything started happening. Abiogenesis is this natural process where life arises from things that aren't living, simple organic compounds. There's a lot of them in the universe. We have a lot of fundamental elements of the universe. There's probably 5 main ones that most everything is made out of. You have carbon, you have hydrogen, you have helium, you have oxygen. Those are 4 of the 5 that almost everything's made out of, including the human body. Well, it's said that through chemical processes, basically, all of this non-living organic compounds gave rise to simple life, which eventually evolved. The one thing that I find about beliefs is they all seem to be supernatural. All of those big words I just said, everybody just stopped listening to this whole show.
Yeah, well. They're like, I wonder what the Kardashians are doing.
There's no video on here. Maybe if you had a video with pictures, I'd like it better. Where's the pictures, Dan? I can't find the pictures. The other day I was listening to your podcast, Dan. I went on YouTube and I turned on the video, but I didn't see all the pictures. I just saw one picture.
Where's the girls with bikinis?
Not a bad idea, actually.
That's what keeps me hungry and interested.
When you think of the most tragic ship sinking in history of the United States, what ship do you think of, Natron Adam?
I think of James Cameron, I think of Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think of the Titanic.
But that's wrong, man.
Damn!
I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna lay this on you, okay?
You gonna drop some facts?
I'm gonna drop some facts, and Joey is here tonight, so Joey, can you help us out with the facts?
This is a fact.
Thanks, Joey.
Nice.
We do that, so that way you don't have a heart attack, you don't get gangrene on your wiener, and it falls off, you don't get cramped muscles, you have to use a whole
Headache,
bunch of
fatigue,
Bengay. Yeah.
herpes.
Where was I? So, the Titanic...
Drop some facts.
Actually, 1,517 people died. A lot of men, women, and children. Very tragic event in human history. But there have been
Definitely.
several ship sinkings that have killed more people than that, including the Sultana.
The what?
Yeah, it was on the Mississippi River. It was a side-wheel steamboat on April 27th of 1865.
Damn.
Greatest maritime disaster in the United States history.
Well, what happened?
So although This boat was designed for a capacity of only 376 passengers. Imagine this.
Okay, so this boat's on the Mississippi. How many people were there?
So it only carries 376 passengers. But somewhere hanging out were 2,427 people.
Right, because they knew that this party was gonna be off the chain. Right? They've got poker, they've got dancing girls, they've got whiskey, they've got booze, they've got spurs, they've got guns, you've got a steamboat, Mississippi River. So people flocked from every corner of the country to this boat. They were stacked to the rafters, partying it up, and then
they were near Memphis, Tennessee, and the boilers on the boat exploded, and then it burned up to the waterline and sank, killing 1,800 of the 2,427 people that were on it.
boom. Well, I mean, I've read that the 600 or so people who did survive said that it was just one amazing party.
Yeah.
Worth dying for, even though they didn't.
But you never hear about this. You always hear about the Titanic.
Well,
Leonardo
I think
DiCaprio.
I was thinking about it. Why, as you were talking there, I'm pretty sure that we hear so much about the Titanic because the way the Titanic built itself. It was the unsinkable ship. Ain't nothing gonna stop this boat. And then it was stopped.
Maybe that was God's will.
It was. I'm sure it was. That's probably what they thought as they were freezing to death, drowning.
But the fact that nobody ever talks about the Sultana still makes me want to shoot this 44 cal.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot my finger. Pew pew. Been doing that a lot here at the gun range. Most people just sort of give you a strange look, threaten to shoot you.
So the reason nobody really thought about the Sultana, part of it was because John Wilkes Booth, and President Lincoln's assassination actually happened the day before this boat sank.
Oh.
Maybe they thought, the world's going to shit, let's all go get on this boat, even though it only holds 376 people, and have a party that's off the chain. People in the 20s, I think about this all the time, used to sit in their living room and listen to radio classics like The Lone Ranger, detective stories.
Orson Welles. Was it Orson Welles?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was. When he, the War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Everyone literally believed aliens were coming.
Or noir detective stories. Tuesday, 2:16 a.m. I had just stepped into the back room while Natron was out at a gun range without a gun.
Without a gun.
Yeah. We didn't want to record a video because we did not yet feel we were sexy enough. We were working up to the task. So we were still smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee at 2:15 in the morning, contemplating our plan to be sexy enough to get on a video to put on YouTube so you would watch it instead of listening to us on the old-timey radio.
And suddenly there was a knock at the door. It was some bikini-clad dame and her cute little puppy.
Once we get our six-packs and we feel we can be comfortable naked in public, we will release the videos. Until then, you need to share and listen to what you have and appreciate it for what it is. Subscribe on YouTube or Facebook.com/WhereAreWePodcast or on Twitter at WhereAreWeShow.
We'll see you there. I've been flossing for the last 17 minutes.